good, y'all? This Gerard B. Let's keep it a buck. Our tight end room is garbage. It's garbage. It's not scaring nobody. Zach Ertz, he gonna be retired off the torn ACL. Sad ending to a Hall of Fame career. John Bates, best blocking tight end in football. Keeper. Okay, then you got Ben Sinnott, right? That's the real question. What is Ben Sinnott? Is he on the Trey McBride path where he had these underwhelming seasons under Cliff Kingsbury and then he exploded? Or is he just a guy that's never going to become a real receiving threat? Is he a jack? Because Jayden Daniels cannot afford like a wait and see approach with the tight end position. That's the quarterback's best friend. So today, we breaking it down. It's a tight end showdown. Kyle Pitts, Isaiah Likely, or other options that Adam Peters may choose from. You got star power, upside, value, homegrown. Man, let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. So let's start with reality. Let's start with reality right off the bat. Our tight end room is only good at one thing, and that's blocking. John Bates is an anchor in the run game. He's trusted, he's physical, and the coaches love him. They rave about the man. But in the receiving department, that's where the real drop-off is for our squad with the move tight end position. Before the injury, you already know Zachy was doing what he had to do, man. Over 50 catches, over 500 yards, 4 tuds in 13 games. Man, he was doing work. With Ertz done, that puts the spotlight squarely on Ben Sinnott. Second-round pick from 2024. He played in all 16 games this past season. He even started a couple. His stat line was 11 catches, 114 yards, and 1 touchdown. Everything he got thrown at, he caught. But his usage was dog shit. I mean, I think it was a 3.2% target share when it came to receptions. Or targeting rate, if you will. The staff trusts him to block. That's what the offensive staff was trusting him to do, not to be a proponent in the passing game. The reason why I brought up Trey McBride is because in Trey McBride's rookie year, he had 29 catches and 265 yards. And I know Ben Sinnott is not a rookie last year. I know that. But Ben Sinnott can still pop. Again, I liked Ben Sinnott coming out of college as a receiving threat. But we shall see. We shall see. Because analysts around the league, they know tight end is a top priority for a quarterback's development, and it's a major hole that we have. So our front office got a choice. Do we wait on Ben Sinnott, or do we pair him with a real weapon? Now let's get to the main event. Kyle Pitts or Isaiah Likely, man. Two very different tight ends, two very different price tags. Both are potentially available. So let's start with Kyle Pitts, the unicorn. 2025 was a bounce-back year for that man. 88 catches, 928 yards, 5 tuds, second amongst tight ends in receptions and yards. So he was producing at the clip that he should have been producing his entire career. The man is 6'6", 246, running a 4.4. Matchup nightmare. Oh, in his career, he's had over 3,500 yards. He had a 1,000-yard season as a rookie. And he's still only 25. The major concern with Pitts is his injury history, his lackluster blocking, the consistency, which we're going to touch on because, and then obviously the cost, because he's getting paid top 5 money. But the upside is all-pro potential. He's coming off an all-pro year, and he, once again, when it comes to consistency, was dealing with a quarterback conundrum. You understand what I'm saying? That's been like the story of his game. Last time he was real good was when Matt Ryan was throwing in the ball. So Then you got Likely. You got Isaiah Likely. He been stuck behind Mark Andrews, but he has had a few opportunities, and when he does, he flashes, man. And I know he's not trying to be a tight end too no more. He's ready for his opportunity. So this is an upside play. 2025, he had 27 catches, 307 yards, and a touchdown. Not eye-popping at all. Not eye-popping at all. But in 2024, with a little bit more work, more targets, if you will, 59 catches, 411 yards, and 5 tuds. Now, he is explosive. He's a yak monster. He's a better blocker than Kyle Pitts, and he can play both inline and flex. He's more of your traditional Zach Ertz type of tight end. Now, I ain't saying Zach Ertz is traditional, but what I'm saying is, as far as Zach Ertz, you could have Zach Ertz in the running game. He wouldn't have necessarily been the best blocker, but he's better than what Kyle Pitts is. Kyle Pitts is a big wide receiver. Mismatch nightmare. Isaiah Likely, on the other hand, he's more like, I'm out here all downs. You don't know what's going on. If I'm out here, we can run and pass. If Pitt's out there, you more likely passing. Or if you running it, he's just running up the field and away from blocks. But Pitt's going to be more expensive than Likely. Okay? He is going to be more expensive than Likely. So this is the debate. Do you take Kyle Pitts giving you that star power, that big splash, or do you take Isaiah Likely with the athletic upside and the value? Now let's talk about how this all fits with JD and David Blough. Because David Blough's offense is multilingual. You know he's going to have some of Cliff's concepts in there with the air raid spacing. But he's definitely going to have some of that Ben Johnson in there. And he's going to have some of that Kyle Shanahan in there with that West Coast timing, RPOs, heavy play action. And that means the tight end is going to matter. Think about the offenses that I just named, the Ben Johnson offense, any kind of West Coast offense. Though, heavy play action, RPOs, you need a good tight end. JD going to thrive, and he has thriven, is that a word, y'all? Over the middle, on the move, as well as extending plays. That's his game. Kyle Pitts is basically a big wide receiver. In David Blough's system, he's be a seam killer. Red zone mismatch, and he's going to force safeties to choose. Who am I taking? All right, the RPO windows are going to be humongous with Kyle Pitts. Okay? Terry McLaurin going to be able to eat however he want. However Terry want to eat, he'll be able to eat. The downside of that is we betting on his health and consistent play. That's what you betting on. And the only reason why I keep saying consistent play is because numbers are numbers. They real. They tangible. Now they are contextual and have reasons to be what they are, but I'm just saying. But mainly you betting on health because the man has had some injuries. Now with Isaiah Likely, he's more of the balanced version. He's going to block better. He runs well after the catch as well. But he's also very violent with the ball in his hands. He'll hit you with a stiff arm, knock somebody's helmet the wrong way. He's more like the Zach Ertz replacement with speed. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Less ceiling than with Pitts, but way fewer red flags. Either way, both guys instantly help out JD, instantly help out this offense, instantly help out David Blough. Because weapons matter. Weapons matter. Okay, so but with Adam Peters, he got to play chess. He got to play chess with this situation because he could drop the bag on Kyle. He could drop a smaller bag. It's still gonna be a bag on Isaiah Likely, or he can look into some more budgetary options like a Chig Okonkwo, right? He around about 6 or 7 million AAV. But he's a speedy tight end, perfect RPO weapon. All right, 56 catches, 560 yards, and he's an elite yak option. Very important. Noah Fant, quality and consistent. Okay, 50 catches over the last 3 years, solid blocker, and he's an athlete. He's a nice upgrade. You got other players like, I want to say it's Mike Gesicki out there, and it's a couple others. And we're going to do a whole tight end free agency breakdown. We're going to do each unit, I should say, from a free agent standpoint. We're going to group them and rank them, figure out who fits best here. I think first up is wide receivers just because I like that. I like wide receivers a lot. Not these wide receivers, but I like the wide receivers. Back to the video. Y'all got me sidetracked. Okay. So if he chooses one of these other options, that's letting you know he's trying to keep Ben Sinnott to develop. He's trying to develop Ben Sinnott. He thinks there's something there that hasn't been tapped, if you will. Pause. And it also lets you spend more money spend more money at the wide receiver position, or at the edge position, or at the linebacker position, or at the safety position, or at the corner position, or at the running back position, because we ain't got infinite bread. So what's the move? Here's how I see it. If you want to reach the peak, the pinnacle peak, you go get Kyle Pitts. If you want some value or upside, you get Isaiah Likely. If you want smart, flexible team building, you stick with Ben Sinnott and you let him grow, and you go find yourself a budget option at tight end that can also give you 500 yards receiving, 600 yards receiving. But here's the one thing I believe. Jayden Daniels cannot be asked to carry this offense. Tight end is not a luxury position. We need a tight end. We need a move tight end. So I'm kicking it to y'all. Kyle Pitts, Isaiah Likely, or Ben Sinnott / the budget option. Basically, that's the growth and budget option. You know, you hoping. So drop it in the comments, run it up, let me know. Hey, this how contenders are built. All right, think about you had your Tom Brady's he had his tight ends. Your man Pat Mahomes had his tight ends. Jayden Daniels needs his tight ends. This Gerard BTV, man, and we out of here.